Aha, we're back. The Southern Airs ride again.
Very well, welcome to you all.
Here at London Stansted.
Welcome to another Southern Airs video. My name is Mitch the Barista Shea.
Jet Force 1 McDowell, emphasis on the Jet Force today.
And today we are taking on the mighty Ryanair again. Flying up to Oslo this morning. Just going to go through security and go and find a nice place to grab a coffee, and we will catch up soon.
And we've got something extra special in store today.
Ooh. Just passed through security quite some time ago now. Just found this nice little bar called Burnell's.
That's JJ Burnell's.
JJ Burnell, yeah. Just found that, got a nice little view of the airport, which I can't really show you at the moment. I can, need to get a nice view of the
interesting fact, that Max over there is registered HMV.
So that's that. Just waiting for our gate to board. We've got a gate 52, but hopefully we're going to board that pretty soon. So.
Oh, by the way, if you're travelling out the gates 40 to 59 at Stansted, I highly recommend Burnell's breakfast buffet.
Barista does not approve of that.
Or what's left of it, shall I say. Boarding but not boarding. The barista don't approve.
Nah, standing out in a gangway like this, just to stand really late.
There's our 737. It's a British registered Ryanair for the UK subsidiary, G-RUKG.
Just on board Ryanair 737-800 G-RUKG, bound for Oslo Gardermoen this morning. Everyone's just getting on now, so we should be on our way pretty quickly. So yeah, see the new GoPros in position. Everything's fantastic. Flight is relatively full today, actually, quite surprisingly. We've got quite a full load, so hope for a nice long takeoff run. Let's do this.
The flight me and Mitchell were on took about an hour and 10 minutes to complete overall as we bolted from London over to Oslo. It's pretty box standard Ryanair flights go, but when it comes to me and Mitchell, nothing is ever truly straightforward.
Finally just settled up in the cruise here, flight number 370 on our way to Oslo. Absolutely stunning departure. The cabin crew have just come around to do their pre-food hot orders, hot pre-food orders should I say, and I'm surprised Jet Force 1, the mighty Jet Force with a pleasant design. And I got myself a ham and cheese really just to play it safe. So let's see what happens. Stand by for Barista review live 37,000 feet.
So the barista ordered my breakfast this morning, completely surprised me. I'm going to be doing him tonight, and I got a Thai green curry.
The landing into Oslo was lively to say the least. Nevertheless, we still made it down safe with the typical Ryanair hard landing.
And now for the main event in Oslo, Norway. We are here at the Norwegian Armed Forces Museum of Gardermoen. There's two sites for this museum. There's this one, which is here at Gardermoen. This focuses on military aircraft. And then there's a general military aviation museum actually in Oslo itself. And there's a sister museum to the aviation collection here, a bit further north in the town of Bordeaux, up on the North Arctic Circle.
Ooh, very nice.
Somewhere that is a museum I've wanted to visit for a while, but we got this one today.
Quick update on the place. Looks absolutely amazing, by the way. There's some an old fighter jet there. There's a
Gate Guardian, and I think that's a Saab, one of the Saab fighters, but I can't remember.
Fighters.
There's probably a sign near it. We'll find out.
It looks pretty interesting, I must admit. Flight over was good, all nice and smooth, no problem.
About as good as you're going to get with Ryanair.
Yeah, about pretty box standard, and we're going to go and explore this museum.
And then we're going to drop a big announcement when we get back to Oslo. Isn't that right?
Stay tuned, my friends, and find out.
This beautiful piece of machinery is one of the most famous aeroplanes of modern warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, the F-16 fighter. Built by the US, it has seen service in multiple countries abroad, including the Norwegian Air Force, and this happens to be a retired example. Right, so I'm going to cover some epic World War II aeroplanes now, including one of the rarest aircraft in history.
Spitfire.
Yep, the Supermarine Spitfire. The Norwegian Air Force did use these quite a bit during World War II and the immediate years following. Obviously a lot of Norwegian pilots would have flown the Spitfire when they went into exile in the UK. Obviously the Spitfire and the Hurricane were obviously quite easily available. And moving on next, we're going to feature this, one of the rarest planes on the planet. This is the workhorse of the German Luftwaffe's bombing fleet.
Aviation.
This is a Heinkel HE-111. Not many of these survived the war, and a lot of them got scrapped for good reason. But a lot of Heinkels that do exist are actually Spanish-built Kaza planes, but this aircraft, this is the real deal. Not many of these around, so it's always good to see one. There is one at RAF Museum at Hendon, there's another in Germany, another recently made its way to the Battle of Britain Museum in Kent, so always a pleasure to see these. And as you can see, I've got a tri-motor Junkers 52 just behind me over here, but we'll get onto that in a moment. Another rare artefact from World War II is this restoration project here. This is the unmistakable bodywork of the Junkers Ju-88. This was actually, unlike the Heinkel 111 and the Dornier 17, the Junkers 88 was actually a born and bred bomber design through and through. In fact, it even had a reputation for being a night fighter as well, causing havoc for RAF Lancasters that were doing raids over Germany during the night. It was also a very popular torpedo bomber, often appearing as an escort for Kriegsmarine ships. This one's been recovered from a lake and they are restoring it, so it'd be really cool to see this on display alongside the HE-111, because there's not many museums where you have these two planes together. The RAF Museum has one of these complete, and there's also one in Dayton, Ohio in Romanian colours. And to run back over to the Allies, this, I assume it's a British version, but this is a Lockheed Hudson, American bomber, but this seems to be in a British livery. You can see this little Speedbird logo, which would have been used by BOAC back in the day. And we've got another bit of modern aviation. This is a C-130 Hercules. Oh, and that's a Barista over there. And over here, one of the finest mass-produced planes ever built. This is the Douglas DC-3, also known as the C-47 Skytrain, and if you are keen on your RAF history, they used to call this the Dakota. Rumour has it that when the last 747 goes off to the desert for retirement, there'll be a DC-3 waiting to pick up the crew. Yeah, this one's painted up in Norwegian Air Force colours, I believe. Again, another very popular transport plane with the military. In fact, in 2019, I actually went to a D-Day event, and there was 37 Dakotas all lined up to do a flypast, originating at Duxford, taking it all the way down to Normandy to do a flypast and a parachute drop. Obviously, this plane hasn't flown in years, so this wasn't one that was included, but there was a Norwegian Dakota based at Oslo Torp that got involved with it, so it was good to see that. And yeah, so here we have the Allies' most well-known transport plane. And here we have the Axis Power's most used transport plane.
Wow, just wow, this place is beyond amazing. When I talk about beyond amazing, I mean like out of this world.
If you love your aircraft, this is worth coming to.
Definitely a place to come to. Highly recommend. I have to get BanjoMan up here as well, because I know he's into his military. Just
for the record, if you do come to this museum, it is only open Saturdays and Sundays at the time of us filming.
If you are local to the area of London Stansted, they do operate flights from Ryanair from Stansted to Oslo.
We can also fly to Oslo from Gatwick and Heathrow using Norwegian, and British Airways and SAS.
So yeah, there's plenty of options there. Get yourself up here, get yourself to this museum. It's very cheap. It cost me £7.54 in UK money. That's 9 kroner.
90 kroner.
90 Norwegian kroner. to enter, so it's very cheap. They've got a nice little coffee shop, and they've got some fine pieces of aviation history in here.
And we've still got more to see.
More to see, a little bit more to go, and then we're going to head back to the airport for a very little surprise.
We're not going to feature the entire museum because, quite frankly, we don't want to spoil everything for you. Right, so we're waiting for a hotel shuttle bus at the moment. We're in a rather nice bar in a hotel we can park in just off the airport. And I'm having a shot at this stuff. It's Norwegian liqueur or liquor, whatever you want. Aquavit. And this is the bottle. This is it.
Yes.
It smells really good, and I'm looking forward to trying it.
Every Christmas we drink this to the food, to the Christmas food.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tradition as well. What do you think, Mitch?
It don't look very nice to me, but yeah, go on, you crack on.
He's wimped out. He's got a bottle of water that costs about £5.
£5 for a bottle of water. Welcome to Norway, eh? Holy jeez.
All at once.
Damn it.
You're on.
If you're sick, I swear to God, I'm going to clean you. Do it.
The love and abuse I get from this guy.
Damn it. Go on. Do it. Damn it.
That's actually really nice. Alright, so we're back in Oslo Airport. We're about to go airside to go to our next flight. Here's the Barista. But check this out. 4 years after my last visit. It's still here. The metal bell end. It's still here. Far out.
Ladies and gentlemen, probably wondering where we are right now.
Big reveal.
Big reveal. I'd like to welcome you to the SAS Lounge, business class lounge, here at Oslo Gardermoen Airport.
We're in the domestic lounge, which also covers the Schengen area.
And the big reveal is that I actually upgraded us to business class on Ethiopian Airlines on a 787, flying from Oslo to Stockholm. I landed late this evening. So
We're going to be doing a Fifth Freedom flight between the Scandinavian capitals, and this is a flight that carries on to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia.
So yeah, we've got two business class seats on that tonight. I'm currently just sitting here eating my nice meal in the lounge.
I will be eating soon, but I have reserved a shower, like an airport lounge shower. Mitch, anything further to add?
Barista,
We are going to try and get the international lounge down for a little bit as well, but we're going to enjoy this one as we have plenty of time at the moment. I mean, it's like every day you get to fly business class on a Star Alliance airline in my book, so...
Barista is very happy.
I think we both are. Overall, the SAS lounge in the domestic area of Oslo Airport was really nice. Good selection of food, fantastic shower facility, and overall just a really nice Scandinavian vibe. Even the Barista coffee was absolutely delicious. History lesson on SAS, Scandinavian Airlines, member of the Star Alliance. I do have a Star Alliance program membership, but I don't use it very much. I just use it to pick up points. Yeah, everything has kind of expired, but this is my first time back with him in like 4 years. So here I am in the shower. I'm just about to go and enjoy this. This is swanky danky. I have no regrets doing this, and quite honestly, I am really looking forward to having a shower. So, bit of a novelty. I absolutely love it. And if you want to see the full video of me enjoying this shower, you'll have to wait for us to set up our OnlyFans at 1,000 subscribers. Peace. He says with the international departures ball behind, we had a great time in the domestic lounge with SAS. We're now going to go spend a few hours in the international lounge, which is a slightly different lounge. It's just in that direction we're heading over now. So let's go enjoy a bit more lounge time.
Me starting to get sleepy.
I think we both are. I've been up since like 3 AM UK time.
The next part of our journey took us to the SAS International Gold Lounge in the international side of the airport. This lounge is significantly better than the domestic one in the sense of there's some minor adjustments that are very much noted. Upon arrival, we were greeted by these awful looking chicken kebabs. The barista did not approve. One of the major changes from the domestic lounge to the international lounge is the fact that they actually have free spirits as much as you want, and you free pour as much as you like, which is pretty good for the Jett force because he got a bit tipsy.
Just look at this beauty behind us. It's worth me being shadowed out. This is the Ethiopian Boeing 787-900 Dreamliner. And we're just about to jump on this on the 1 hour or so flight over to Stockholm, Arlanda.
Looking forward to this. This was the all big reveal. Flying on a wide body on a 5th freedom flight between Oslo and Stockholm. Ethiopian are running flights from their home base in Addis Ababa to Stockholm, and then they operate the 5th freedom route between Stockholm and Oslo and Stockholm, and you can actually get a chance to ride that on business class.
And Ethiopian does allow you the opportunity to upgrade through bidding, and if you get a good day, bidding can be a lot cheaper than paying for either the all-out fare or the all-out upgrade fee. And it paid off because the barista here very, very kindly put $95 US in, so that's worth £75 British money towards this, and because the flight is so quiet, our bids got accepted at rock bottom price. What?
It works out, to upgrade to business class, it works out the equivalent of around 40, at this current time, of around about £45 per person. That's 45 English pounds per person. That is the cheapest, like any upgrade I've ever that's the cheapest upgrade I've ever done, flying anywhere in the world. Absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to see what a service, a Star Alliance, my very first Star Alliance flight as well. Never flown Star Alliance before.
And this is my first flight with Star Alliance since 2018. My last trip was my Chicago-New York trip with Lufthansa on the 747-8 and the A380. Obviously, pandemic and some other factors meant I couldn't get back, so I've lost all my miles, but Star Alliance is making a comeback. Well, what can I say about first impressions on the Ethiopian 787? The Cloud9 business product on this Dreamliner left me and the barista excruciatingly speechless. Okay, so you got to wear a face mask on Ethiopian Airlines at the time of filming, just so you know, because obviously they're based in Ethiopia, so they got to follow Ethiopian rules and regulations for the most part. We are quite blown away by the cabin. The seat is very, very nice. I mean, there's an adjacent seat to me, just to give you an idea. I will give a proper tour later. There's the screen, and if I just reach over, I've got a complimentary bottle of water. I've got 2 windows to choose from in terms of filming, and there's a nice bit of leg room. I've got headphones here, and I've also got like a pillow and blanket, and I can extend this to a recline position at a later time in the flight. I will have a play around with that once we're airborne. Aye. Freshly squeezed orange juice. Very refreshing, very smooth. But sparkling white wine. I'm not a fan of white wines, but this. You can tell by the smile on my face, you can just tell.
Whilst the boys are flying in style, please don't forget to like, subscribe and follow our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages. We really would appreciate it.
Coming up next, I must tell you that this red wine was absolutely divine. And, oh, who can forget that lovely in-flight map? Anyone for a cheeky loo review? Well, here we go.
Even on such a short flight between Oslo and Stockholm, I was very surprised when we got greeted by the cabin crew with a onboard business class amenity kit. In this bag it contained an eye mask, some socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, and some other little exciting things as well. Absolutely amazing, and a real nice touch from such a great airline. After a total of 48 minutes exactly in the air, it was time to land. I know, so sad. The approach into Stockholm was very smooth, very uneventful, and we made our ILS approach to runway 32 right at Stockholm's Arlanda airport. Weather was a bit overcast, but other than that, we made it down safe.
No one would travel to Ethiopia today. We get off here in Svenska, Sweden, and the capital city of Stockholm, and this is the Arlanda airport. To think this was the first place I did a solo travel trip to back on my 18th birthday in 2015. We're doing this at the end of May 2022, so that was about 7 years ago now. As you can see, I've aged like a bottle of milk left out in the cupboard.
Just got off the Ethiopian flight. It was absolutely amazing. Really,
in fact, we're just coming up to the belt that it's on, belt 6.
Really was cool. Just coming in now to the end of today's travels. Next stop, we're going to be taking you to a hostel that's in the shape of a Boeing 747. Stay tuned, my friends.
More than meets the eye. And we made our way over to the Jumbostay just off the Stockholm airport, and within no time at all we were greeted with the unmistakable, beautiful figure of a Boeing 747-200 series, ready to keep us nice and cosy for the evening.
What greeted me next was pure and utter aviation heaven. I could not believe my eyes. I was standing next to this giant queen of the skies. Upon entering aviation heaven, I realised that I had to share a room with the Jet Force. Not so good. Nevertheless, the rooms were amazing.
Good morning from a rather miserable looking Stockholm.
It's very overcast and very gloomy this morning. Had a good sleep, and it's now time to head home after an amazing 2 days away. Flying Ryanair back to reality. No more Ethiopian Airlines business class. Back to reality.
That was actually quite a good flight.
737-800 back to the famous London Stansted airport this morning. Just had a lovely breakfast in here actually, offered by the Jumbostay. A bit disappointed in here last night, I've got to be honest. There was no staff on, and there was no food or drink or anything like that, so we kind of went to bed hungry. But we sure made up for it this morning with 4 slices of bread and all sorts of cereals and continental breakfast they offer here at the Jumbostay in Stockholm. Just about to head off to the airport just shortly. Due to long security delays, we have to check in early. Current time here now is just fast approaching 6:30 in the morning, 5:30 if you're in the UK.
It's going to be a long day.
And we'll arrive back at Stansted somewhere in the region of between 11:15 and 11:30 UK time, 12:30 Stockholm time. So yeah, it's been absolutely amazing, and we'll speak to you very, very soon.
What's up?
Here we are on top of the wing of the Jumbostay here in Stockholm, Arlanda. We just checked out. Just check it out now. Absolutely awesome stay.
You just need to give the place a bit of a repaint.
Give it a bit of a repaint. She's looking a bit old. She's looking a bit squalid. Not gonna lie.
Old lady.
Just heading on a bus now back to Stockholm Arlanda Airport. We're gonna check in, go for security, and there's a little bit more of a reveal coming very, very shortly. We're at a gate. The time for this trip is about to come to an end. Was waiting for our aircraft to come in from London Stansted. And while we're waiting, we decided to try out a Swedish novelty. Swedish hot dogs. Tyler's got his right there.
Very popular. You can get them in almost any convenience store in this country.
Oh yeah.
Once we paid for a bit on the pricey side, but you can get them cheaper in like the actual cities.
So for 2 hot dogs was £8.11, which is about 400 krona in Norway and Sweden. In Sweden. So that's that. Anything to add?
Oh.
Barista. Just not to prove you're talking with your mouth full.
Barista can think what he wants.
Have you got any pointers for this trip? What's your best part of this trip? What do you reckon?
I'd say the SAS lounge. Followed very closely by the Ethiopian Dreamliner flight. And then obviously we got the Norwegian Aviation Museum as well.
Yesterday's flights were absolutely amazing. I've yet to compare it to today's flights because we've not actually got that far yet. But as we hoping the flight home would be just as good as the flights we've had out to Norway and Sweden. See what happens. Anyway, the next time I'll speak to you now, we'll be on board. And we will see you on EI-DWL 737-800. Not a MAX again. Ryanair, disappointing.
Coming up very soon.
Barista.
After enjoying a nice bit of sausage hot dog, it was time for me and Mitch to take our third and final flight on this trip. Back to the ever-reliable cheap fares of Ryanair to get us from A to B, or in this case, Stockholm to Stansted.
Time for another barista review of our meal, and the Jet Force has done it again. No veg in his diet, poor little boy.
And after another bog-standard Ryanair flight into Stansted, me and Mitch made our way through to passport control and out of Stansted. So, without further ado, I think it's time for us to collect our final thoughts and present them in this video. And just like that, as quick as it started, it's all over now.
Oh, just arrived back at London Stansted.
And then it's on to the next adventure.
Flight back was very smooth. I got absolutely roasted by this one. Quite sweet chicken curry. Barista with our meal. It was absolutely awful. The rice tasted like perfume. It's rank. Landing into Stansted, typical Ryanair landing. I left my backside on the runway.
Completely blasted.
Completely blasted it, but it's good fun either way. That's it from me. That's it from Jet Force. Thank you very much for coming along with us. Much appreciated. Thanks for your continued support to the Southern Airs, and we'll
There'll be more from us in the near future.
catch you on the next Southern Airs video. Safe travels, everybody.